Welcome everyone to Torchlight Infinite's Lunaria season preview. I'm Andre, your community manager. This season we're excited to bring you Torchlight Infinite's 3rd anniversary, and with it comes a ton of content, tons of rewards and events, and so much more. New seasonal gameplay, a new permanent netherrealm mechanic, a new summoning system, a brand new hero, and a season progression system that overhauls the trade framework. Let's break it all down. Let's start with a new seasonal mechanic, Lunaria. The Lunaria gameplay is bringing a very straightforward and high-output farming loop. In the Netherrealm, you'll enter regions scattered with lunar stone statues. Walk up to them, use your lunar ring to cover as many statues as possible, and hit the strum button to wake them up. The awakened Lunaria creatures drop loot immediately on death, along with energy for your next strum. Very simple gameplay loop, just strum, kill, rise and repeat. Here's a quick tip, you can actually bind the strum button to a hotkey for a much smoother mapping experience. The more statues you awaken in a single strum, the higher your combo count, and combo count directly multiplies your drop rewards. More statues circled means more monsters, a bigger drop bonus, and a larger haul. While farming, you may actually randomly trigger lunar omens, special surprise events that shake up the loop. Here's what you can expect from them. When Lunar Radiance triggers, a gleaming golden statue appears on the map. The monster underneath drops substantially better loot than the standard statues. When Dark Moon's Descent triggers, a powerful enemy spawns mid-run. Take it down and it's gonna drop some serious loot. When Moonlit Revival triggers, every Lunaria creature currently on the map reverts back into a single statue. The area instantly fills back up with statues, giving you another full strum opportunity. But if lunar omens weren't enough, there's actually another layer, Rhapsodies. During a run, you may trigger a Rhapsody theme that fundamentally changes the rules of the encounter. These are high variance events that can massively swing your rewards. In the Lunar Reverberation, each statue activates spawns a replacement, so the density keeps rising, but your lunar rings area keeps shrinking. Find the most packed area and work it efficiently. In the Moonrise Rhapsody, the lunar harp no longer consumes energy, so that means unlimited strums. If your current strum activates more statues than the previous one, a Moonlight Casket full of loot spawns randomly on the map. It requires one more strum to open, but the payoff is worth it. This season there are nearly 10 Rhapsody variants, each with very distinct mechanics. Lunar omens can also appear during Rhapsodies, layering additional effects on top. You can think of lunar harp tuning as your mod, and you can use it to customize your setup. Collect lunar strings during gameplay, and slot them onto the lunar harp for different effects. These aren't just passive stat bumps, but they actually meaningfully change how the mechanic plays. For strum optimization, equip Mirror's Ripples. It shows you the statue count inside your lunar ring in real time. If you hate leaving statues on the map, Chaos String instantly activates everything with a single button. And if you just want to go hands-free and zoom across the map, Celestial Reaver. Once you hit a statue threshold, the lunar harp triggers itself automatically. There's a lot of different lunar string options to suit different approaches, so whether you're optimizing for maximum combo count or prefer maximum setup, there's something for you. Next up, let's discuss a new growth mechanic, the Creation Engine. You'll find creation engines scattered throughout the maps. Activate one and various creation crystals begin floating while creation sentries spawn to guard the machine. Defeat each wave of sentries and a random crystal lights up. Once all sentries are down, those illuminated crystals convert into rewards. And these machines can actually produce some serious loot, such as the Path of the Brave exclusive Fluorescent Memory, the legendary chest armor Silent Avowal, and a fluorescent memory used to unlock a mystery skill. More on that skill shortly, but let me tell you now, it involves potions. You can also configure the creation engine for various Netherrealm talents. Heavier investment unlocks more aggressive options. Matching 2 identical crystals creates a bonus, whimsical creation crystal to inflate your loot pool, and you can even make the engine occasionally produce gold creation crystals, which chain activate every crystal in the machine. Lighter investment flips the engine into a buff dispenser. When crystals resolve, you gain a drop quantity bonus based on crystal type. Carry those bonuses into your next encounter for compounding returns. The creation mechanic also comes with its own compasses. Worth highlighting, the record creation compass spawns additional creation engines throughout a stage and generates a special record creation engine at the end. This engine logs all creation crystals collected during the stage and pays out their rewards again on completion. Of course, there's a trade-off. The more crystals are recorded, the stronger the guards protecting the final engine. Whether you're going for burst loot explosions or stacking global bonuses, the creation mechanic has room for both approaches. At the same time, the new season is actually updating a lot of the existing mechanics. Let's start off with Vorax. What was your highest and lowest activity on record? Wide variance there could actually feel pretty bad. So after watching how the mechanic played out over a full season, we've rebalanced several potions and buffed most ultimate potions. More importantly, we've optimized the timing of ultimate potions. They'll no longer show up when they can't be used to full effect. So that means there's not going to be any more waiting until round 8 or 9 for a hollow cocoon to appear. We've also added a UI alert for when your Vorax substance is fully charged, so you don't accidentally waste any of them. The surgery phase's UI and feedback have also been vastly improved. Of course, we've also added a Vorax talent constellation to the Void chart. Slot in the relevant Netherrealm talents and you get a chance to contract Vorax yourself by killing Vorax monsters. The upside? Faster movement and larger skill area. The downside? The infection is gonna follow you into the operating room, meaning enemies get tougher, although antidote vial drop rates are gonna go up to compensate. These talents also include the ability to mark Vorax monster locations on the minimap, a huge quality of life for deep space maps. The Vorax mechanic is also getting a new compass support. The old titanium scalpel has been reworked into the sterling silver scalpel. We're also adding the legendary titanium alloy scalpel, which grants bonus drop rates to the surgical protocol you select before battle. That is, at the cost of 2 additional random protocols appearing mid-fight to disturb you. The Supreme Showdown boss rotation is also changing this season. Floor 20 swaps to Supreme Sons of Rising Tide. And Floor 21 swaps to Bladebreaker General Red Scale. The condensed energy mechanic is returning as well. Pick up Scatter condensed energy during the fight to build an energy shield against lethal hits. So next up, some notes on survivability. We've actually noticed that Netherrealm stages affixes push survival requirements to an unreasonable level, sometimes forcing players to overinvest in defensive stats at the expense of damage output. We're kinda adjusting the design logic on these affixes, shifting the focus from survival pressure to damage output validation. So that means that going forward, stage affixes are going to be testing your damage efficiency, not just your ability to face tank. We've also noticed that as players have gotten stronger, the remaining time under 40 seconds condition in the Clockwork Ballet gameplay has become a dead zone. You clear fast enough that you're just waiting for the drop bonus to trigger, so we're going to be adjusting this threshold to 60 seconds. We're also making some adjustments to the 6 Gods mechanic to give it some more identity. The Gods treasure chest effect, previously in the Profound Talent constellation, is now provided by the Mystery Treasure Gods compass. We've also swapped out 6 God emblems from the treasure chest drop table in favor of Astrolabs. We've also updated the God of Machines mechanic. You can now earn 1 stack of buff on completing the 2nd round rather than the 3rd. We've also fixed the confusion card interaction in God of Might. Now, no matter how you're farming your embers, everything triggers exactly as it should. The fluorescent memory strategy was lacking compass options in the late game. To address this, we're adding the Brilliant Fluorescent Compass, which gives dropped fluorescent memories a 50% chance to duplicate. We've also updated the Focus Fluorescent Compass, so its effects apply to all exclusive fluorescent memory drops. Now let's move on to some build-related updates. This season includes some hero trait reworks, new summoning mechanics, new dot mechanics, a brand new hero, and a progression system that overhauls the trait framework. First up, Lethal Flash. Since the mobility tag was removed from Path of Flames, Lethal Flash, which depended on mobility to replenish ammo, has been stuck in an awkward spot. And being hardlocked to shotgun effect left almost no viable skill options. Post-rework, Lethal Flash drops the mobility dependence entirely. It's now all about altering projectile behavior. At level 45, Evil Ouroboros has an auto-return. The projectile continues flying up to 10 meters behind you, picking off enemies at your back. Alternatively, Parallel Approaching trades 90% of your range for a raw damage boost. Short range sounds like a problem, but that's where the level 75 trait Silent Impact comes in. On hit, it consumes ammo to bounce the projectile off the ground, patching the range gap and significantly boosting clear efficiency. Freed from the ammo and shotgun constraints, Lethal Flash is now a flexible projectile skill that works with a much broader range of builds. The summon system hasn't seen any changes in a while, but this season we're introducing something genuinely new. Have you ever been mid-run in the Netherrealm, killed a powerful enemy and thought, I wish I could just use that thing? Well, this season you can. Introducing Modularization, the new mechanic for synthetic troop builds. Module skills pull a monster's traits and generate a replica with a portion of their abilities to fight beside you. Take the Truck Boss Second General. Modularize him, and you can summon his replica to deal ferocious Shatter Fist blows to enemies. Now, unlike standard synthetic troop minions, the Truck Boss's damage scales with your strength stat. The more you invest, the harder it's gonna hit. The Medium Ember Automaton probably has a few painful memories attached. Its modularized form unleashes that same energy onto your enemies. Massive damage output combined with a debuff that reduces their damage output. Then there's the Ravager. Modularize it, and it's gonna unleash Ravaging Slash across a wide, rectangular area. Ravaging Slash guarantees steep strikes by default, and your steep strike chance scales its damage even further. The Goblin Priest rounds out the showcase. Modularization lets him convert most cold damage to fire damage while adding a percentage of cold damage on top of fire. To unlock module skills, activate the corresponding talent in the Profound Talent constellation. Then defeat native bosses in Netherrealm stages for a chance to obtain their module. By the time the Lunaria season goes live, there's gonna be a ton of options available at launch, including over 20 boss modularization options. But we've actually got a lot more planned going forward, including Planewatcher modules. Beyond their base effects, module skills also roll with additional random affixes. Some examples: boost your minion's action speed and your own movement speed, on-kill explosion effects, one that locks nearby enemies' erosion resistance at 10%, and there's even a mysterious affix that activates the persistence aura for you and your minions. Honestly, worth running even if module skills aren't your core focus. We've rebuilt Chromatic Shot's base form. Each activation now randomly selects an elemental type as the damage attribute, converting all other damage types to match. The reworked version also has a chance to trigger an explosion on kill and now includes the area tag. 2 exclusive support skills have also been added. Chromatic Shot Light Chaser pushes damage scaling from your primary element and boosts projectile speed with improved homing. Chromatic Shot Splendor cycles through damage elements in sequence. Every elemental hit is guaranteed to apply the matching element, and it deals increased damage to targets that have all elemental elements on them. Dot builds have also been underperforming in practice. They ramp up quite well and feel smooth early on, but as content scales up, the steady output nature of Dot actually becomes a liability, slower time to kill on tough targets, and slightly behind on clear speed. So we're adding a new mechanic to address this, introducing Ill Omen, a new debuff mechanic for Dot builds. Stack Ill Omen to 10 layers on a target and it takes a massive damage hit. Normal and magic monsters are instantly killed. Elites take true damage equal to 30% of their max life. Apply Ill Omen using the Ominous Curse skill. When enemies are inside Ominous area and reaping damage across a health threshold, they accumulate Omen stacks. Late game optimization paths include reducing trigger thresholds, accelerating stack rate, and enabling spread on trigger, which creates chain reactions across packs and dramatically improves clear fluidity. The result? Dot builds gain real burst windows. Trash mobs die to the mechanic itself in late game, and bosses can be chunked down immediately, cutting down fight duration significantly. Of course, some new legendaries are also coming this season. Let's take the time to highlight two of them. First, the Strength Helmet Magma Skull. The lore goes that when the Great Flood receded, the skulls of fallen giants became the world's furnaces. Equip it, and your main skill is automatically supported by a level 30 Cataclysm. Plus, you can extra fire hit damage based on how many affliction stacks the target is carrying. Second, Wrath's Dread Crest, another Strength Helmet. The lore, an undefeated champion hardened by endless conflict until his shattered skull was tempered crimson by sheer fighting will. Mechanically, it stripes out elemental and erosion damage entirely, pure physical only. The cost is real. Every trauma layer you carry deals true damage per second to you. But the payoff scales with it. More trauma means higher additional physical damage and armor penetration. High risk, high ceiling.
The corruption spilling from the Emperor's casket. It drained us of our myrrh, our chrism, and something much more precious, our faith. The city's rot poisons the very air we need to survive. We pray for mercy, hoping the gods will grant us grace. But even the gods remain silent.
Arminius, you were never a great emperor. And don't even dream of becoming some terrifying legend. Now, get back into your coffin where you belong! Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Now let's talk about this season's new hero. Meet Scentweaver Sage, debuting along with her first trait, Licorice Note. Sage abandons traditional healing skills entirely in favor of elixir-based mechanics. Her traits revolve around the scent bottle. If it can go in the bottle, it can be refined. Every hero can use elixir skills, but Sage uniquely adjusts the recipe inside the scent bottle dynamically based on combat needs, producing different effects from the same tools. A few examples. Playing Dot, add a twin spine flower to the bottle for a chance to reap twice on reap effect. Is your defense lacking? Sage can brew in rare defensive stats like injury buffer or convert physical damage to random elemental damage. Affixes that don't usually appear on gear. In practice, one well-constructed bottle covers a meaningful chunk of your offensive and defensive needs simultaneously. As Sage levels up, her options open up a lot. Now, worried elixir charges from kills are too slow, her brew can be set up so that critical strikes, reaping, or even just moving can automatically generate charges. The Stimulant Salt variant goes even further. It auto-triggers your Empower skill on top of faster charging. Concerned about healing overflow, the Elixir of Immortality converts success life and mana restoration into temporary health and mana beyond your normal caps. And the more that converts, the higher your damage bonus. The more you're healed, the harder you're gonna hit. Late game, you can even specialize Sage's direction. Go the Scholar route, max out life and mana, letting those base stats convert directly into amplified elixir effects. You can also go the Mad Scientist route, carry a second special flask and use it offensively on enemies. source rare ingredients, and Sage can brew legendary forbidden options from this flask. Some cause fallen enemies to explode for true damage, while others sacrifice energy shield recharge so that excess life restoration also fortifies your shield, converting it into additional damage output. Now, Sage's introduction is actually a perfect segue into the broader Elixir skill overhaul. Potions have always been kind of an afterthought, something you slam on when you're low on health. This season we're changing that. Potions are being separated from the restoration skill category and becoming their own type skill, Elixir skills. Unlike standard skills, Elixir skills run on charge points instead of cooldown or mana. Normally, you can build those charges by killing enemies. With this system now on its own branch, the Elixir skills are getting a major expansion. The full roster is breaking down into 3 categories. First, tonics. Things like life source and mana source stay focused on survivability. Dews are your single stat boosts. Steadfast Dew for base armor, Nimbleness Dew for base evasion, and Blurry Steps has been renamed Swiftness Dew. And then there are distillates, advanced elixirs with composite effects and complex mechanics which can greatly shape your build. Some high-value elixir skills are being moved out of the skill shop entirely. They will now only be available through drops or fluorescent memory exchanges. A few standouts. Tenacity Dew, the only Dew skill obtainable through drops. It provides a significant boost to your elemental resistance cap, essential in high-pressure content. The Scorpion Stinger Distillate, a strong pick for projectile builds. One use grants more projectiles, increased area, and a movement speed boost, effectively replacing several support skills in a single slot. Thunderwood Distillate raises max lightning resistance and grants a rare lucky damage effect for its full duration. On the talent side, the Panacea talent has been reworked into Tailor Remedy. New effect: equip 2 or fewer elixir skills in your skill bar and you gain up to plus 50% elixir skill effectiveness. Running just one carries a minus 50% duration penalty, but depending on your build, that trade-off can actually work in your favor. We're also continuing to tune and adjust existing build components this season. Last season we introduced grafting, and the community came up with some very impressive combinations. This season we're making a few adjustments just to keep it more balanced. Vorax gear can still craft 2 legendary affixes this season, but they now have to come from the same legendary item. We've also fixed the issue when grafting ultimate affixes like curse stacks. Every ultimate affix now has a T2 version during grafting, so you're no longer forced into a blemish outcome. To address supply issues with high-demand special organs, we're adding a dismantling and exchange feature. Break down unwanted special organs into organ teratomas, then exchange them in the shop for random special organ. Counter affixes have been hard to get, which has been gating access to deep space. This season we're going to be adding more abnormal counter affixes in Hero Memories and Ethereal Prism. And you can now even craft immune to crowd control effects directly in the Ethereal Prism. Blending is also getting some updates this season. Several core talents had low uptake, and high-value aromatic talents were seeing much use. We've overhauled both. We've done a large rotation of core talents available through blending, bringing in proven talents like Formless, Play Safe, and Extreme Coldness to replace underused options. We're also adding more survival-focused core talents this season. Amber Armor, Defensiveness, and Resistance are all joining the pool. Aromatic talents have also been reworked and significantly reduced in cost. The reworked Hollow Journey now grants precise magical source with a base effect which prioritizes partial damage absorption by mana. The new Thrice Lucky Aromatic talent provides lucky damage and bumps the optimal roll determination count from 2 to 3. These changes should help blending better fill gaps in your builds and make aromatic talents worth investing in. Corrosion on non-legendary gear has been a real pain point. Hitting a bad outcome that tanks your base affix and random affix rolls just feels awful. We've lowered the probability of both outcomes down to 5%, which should cut down significantly on gear becoming unusable. We've also noticed that T0 plus affixes obtained through corrosion often roll at the low end, falling short of what players are actually looking for. So we're raising the lower bound of T0 plus affix values majorly. For example, this T0 plus spell level affix will not always roll at 5. Hero memories are a core part of the trait system, and they're getting a major update this season. The new progression system built around hero memories is called Renewed Memory, and it brings some big changes to how you build and invest in traits. It introduces Revival, a brand new crafting method that unlocks the hidden power inside those memories. Using basic revival materials, you add revival effects to a memory. The Wax and Wane effect increases the values on base affixes. The Rising Moon effect elevates a fixed affix here. Combine these two and your memory affix values can reach full T0. Unlike corrosion, revival effects are mutually exclusive. They can all coexist on the same memory. You can also layer in the Lunar Ring effect, which expands the memory with a set of powerful random affixes, including rare stats like Warcry effect, Elixir effect, or physical damage converted to a random element. And we're just getting started. The core of Revival is the Young Moon effect. It has an extra powerful trait affix to a memory. On rare and epic tier memories, it gives you cost-effective affixes for early and mid-game progression. On top tier ultimate memories, the affix pool expands massively, including hero-specific trait affixes tailored to each hero's design. To help you land something that's actually usable, each hero-specific trait affix has a dedicated directional crafting item. Now let's dive into a few hero-specific trait affixes. The first one is for Berserker players. Hero's Resourcefulness transforms the main skill burst into a spell skill that can trigger Spell Burst, bringing full screen coverage to Berserker builds. Summon-type heroes aren't stuck behind their minions anymore. Commander Motto's Order Calling trait, paired with Neural Synchronization training, lets you gain Overload whenever you deploy minions, with additional Overload effects when synthetic troops are nearby. For something more aggressive, the Zealot of War exclusive trait, Self-Imposed Shackles. Stand still and you get high attacks and spell block chance, continuous heat-up effects, and expanded skill area. The moment you move, you take a minus 60% penalty to all resistances. If you've been running Yoga 2 and you're frustrated by monsters locking out of your twisted spacetime, Tune Myself in Another Spacetime should help significantly. Added to Spacetime Elapse, it increases the max twisted spacetime count by +1 and drops the interval to 1 second. Private Universe goes further. Twisted spacetime now follows your movement entirely. You become a walking detonation zone. The Revival system offers 36 hero-specific trait affixes in total. Whatever hero and trait you're running, there's something here relevant for your build. Beyond the hero-specific affixes, there's also a ton of powerful universal affixes available to all heroes. For example, find this season's Artificial Moon for your memory, and you gain an extra memory slot, letting you socket an additional memory to support your base hero trait. This means your base hero trait can now reach level 5, like any other trait. Push it to level 5, and it also gains an additional base trait effect. Using Frostfire's Icefire Fusion as an example, it gains an extra plus 100% Frostfire Rampage cooldown recovery speed. That said, top-tier Revive memories require both Serious Luck and engagement with high difficulty seasonal content. Now let's cover all the quality of life updates coming this season. This season, the login screen, the loading screen, general pop-ups, the talent interface and Divinity Slate interface are all being updated. Of course, we've done our best to not mess with the way you actually interact with the game, so familiar interaction patterns are gonna stay the same. As always, we're gonna be monitoring your feedback, so let us know what you think. 2 existing character models are also getting visual reworks this season. First, Thea's Wisdom of the Gods trait, and also Erika's Windstalker trait. Both have been redesigned with improved proportions and finer character detail. The Coldness Tracer is also returning with a more imposing redesign and a brand new domain. The remastered arena is more detailed and atmospheric. We're also continuing to iterate on monster and skill effect visuals across the board. The login and character selection music have also been fully updated this season. For our special anniversary season, we rearranged and re-recorded the classic Torchlight Infinite theme, preserving its core identity while giving it a much more expansive and cinematic feel. We've made general overall improvements to the search mechanic. For example, whether it's the trade house, the help menu, or any other locations with a search function, you can now separate multiple terms with a space to filter for items matching all conditions simultaneously. For example, type additional, physical, damage with a space in help, and you'll get all items and affixes that include additional physical damage, much more precise than before. As promised, Hardcore mode is also finally getting some quality of life. When a Hardcore character is defeated, all inventory items are transferred to a temporary stash for use by your next character. When this season Hardcore server launches, the check-in event will also go live, providing Hardcore exclusive time transition capsules. The injury buffer display has also been updated. When mana is involved in damage absorption, the injury buffer effect now shows up directly on the mana bar. The trade house is also getting several quality of life updates this season. Filtering gear by base affixes now excludes dream interpretation affixes, making it easier to find dual base affix priceless items. Divinity Slate Search now supports filtering by talent node type. Find slates with specific configurations like 2 legendary medium talents or 2 core talents. Reflection item listings can now be replicated multiple times without needing to relist. We've also added a quick purchase toggle. When you enable it, you can purchase items of that type while skipping the confirmation pop-up entirely. This can be very useful when buying large quantities of a specific currency. The Void Shard's planned tab cap has also been raised from 3 to 6 now. The 2 pages by default +1 for the Brilliant Gilding Season Pass. Additional pages can be earned through anniversary events or purchased with Primo Cris in the shop. In order to further help you protect your account, we've also developed a function lock. Once it's active, sensitive account operations require a password before they go through, protecting you from unauthorized changes or asset transfers. The function lock has 2 modes, standard and strict, so you can control exactly how much is covered and locked. Let's wrap up with events, pack spirits, and cosmetics. Complete the 7-day check-in event and you'll learn a legendary drop pack spirit selection pack. Overhaul packs have also been added to the selection pool this season. More exciting news, we're also running a limited anniversary event this season, the Midas Touch. Complete objectives to earn draws, then spin for rewards, including pack spirit crystals, jagged primos, and best of all, a chance to win this year's commemorative Torchlight Infinite Gold Note. This one especially co-designed by the TLI team and the China Academy of Arts. Also good news, this year we're actually making a lot more of them available, so your odds of winning one are even higher. We've also prepared a full event suite. First up, the 3rd anniversary celebration. Complete objectives for an Activation Medium selection pack and Void Shard plan tabs. For the login event Lunar Gifts, you can get a legendary drop pack spirit selection pack. And for a huge haul, remember to complete Traces to the Moon, where you can get rare drop pack spirits, upgrade insignias, exclusive weapon upgrade appearances, and most of all, up to 30 legendary battle pack spirit draws. New pack spirits are joining us this season. The seasonal drop pack spirit, Avatar of Moon. She has a chance to appear whenever you strum. applying a lunar magic effect that doubles or triples drops from Deathstrom. She can also cast magic on random statues when you enter a gameplay area, granting a drop quantity bonus to statues within range. The new hero stage is also coming with her new companion pack spirit, the Elixir Fairies. These little helpers generate exclusive tonics for you, enhancing Elixir skill effects and providing bonus damage and movement speed during Elixir skill active duration. Next up, let's take a look at all the new cosmetics. The Synth Weaver is getting a new legendary outfit this season. The Netherblight appearance pack includes the Abyssal Wraith outfit, a universal restoration skill effect, weapon skin, body effect, exclusive trait effect, exclusive portrait, and a portrait frame. Carino is also getting a transcendent appearance. The Silver Moon Gunner pack includes the Moon Hunter appearance, split shot skill effect, weapon skin, body effect, and exclusive portrait. The Glory Across All Realms collection is getting the new ultimate back accessory, Burning Abyss. A dragon from the depths of the abyss coils behind you, absorbing enemy soul fire and unfurling 6 ominous wings. Also new to Glory Across All Realms, the teleport effect Moonlit Fox Dance, featuring a massive moon and a giant dancing fox. That's everything for the Lunaria season preview. We've covered the Lunaria seasonal mechanic, the renewed memory progression system, the new hero, the Elixir skill overhaul, the creation engine, and so much more. This season also marks 3 years and 14 seasons for us, so thank you so much to all of you who have been with us along this journey. The Lunaria season is right around the corner, coming April 16, and we can't wait to see you all on launch day. That's all for today. Stay tuned to the final patch notes and more news coming soon.